this is a bit distracting, but when I look at it this way, I can see that she has a really huge jaw. So we're gonna go over here. Move some things over. Yeah, not perfect, but a little bit better than what it was. Let's get back to work on making Katniss look like Katniss. Really, when I draw her, my main things that usually are key in getting her to look like the character are, one, as I mentioned, her eyebrows, and I always give her kind of this intense stare where she's like grumbling at people, though she does have a few points in time where she's happy. Not a lot, but she's determined. The other thing is her kind of signature braid. So at this point we've got everything in, so I can just go ahead and make those little things. And this is usually where I would go ahead and do cleanup. I might even, if I was going to do a finished piece, where I would go ahead and like change the opacity on this, and then actually go over the line art again to make a nice clean one. So I guess the only thing I'm going to show you in this little one, just nice and quick, I have a trick that with using Photoshop and digital art, I'm entirely self-taught, so I had to figure all these things out. And when you're doing that, you sometimes, especially if you can't bother reading all of the millions of books, because when you get a huge Photoshop book, they just sit there and it's like information overload, so I'm usually just kind of figure it out on my own. Every once in a while we'll look up a tutorial. But one of the things that you can do is, if I don't get her hair right, is, say, you might have seen people with some colored line art where they'll have black, rays, skin tones, anything color, but you don't want to have to go over, do the whole thing. And you'll know some people will try using the select tool, like so, and then coloring it in, if it will go. No, didn't do it out. Oops. And you will hit the select tool and try to do that, but just to show, if you do that and you go up close, it gives it a really kind of harsh line to it. It doesn't look as smooth as it did with when you did the original black one. So go back into our history. Let's go back. Deselect, the way to get around that is just go up here on your liner and hit the lock transparency, and then we'll take this to a brown color. and then go ahead and you can either use a paint bucket to do the fill, or you can just go over it, do the line work. And then because we did that, should have worked. Nope, I forgot to unmagic wand it before. This work. Okay, there we go. And so it's the same line quality as you had before. It's just a nice way if you just, and you can also do like different colors within the same one. Say we only wanted like the inside being the brown, we could do that. But I remember it taking me forever to figure that out, and then when I did, I was so happy. But it was also kind of one of those, oh, duh, why didn't I figure that out years ago? Just on another layer, up, down, some quick colors here. And like I said, usually I would spend more time on this, but tutorial, so not really happening that quickly. Also, and the other nice thing about that with the changing of the line art colors is if something doesn't look right, you can just go back and change the line art color. When you want, you can switch it to black or brown, anything you want. And there's lots of other fun things that you can do with coloring in Photoshop, but I wouldn't be the best one to ask. Like I said, I'm still always learning on how to use this. And also, it would take a little, I'm not going to go that far into things on this tutorial. Let's just go and give her her gray eyes. And since the brown kind of doesn't go very well, we're going to go back and put it, give her black line art again. And to unlock, you just click back on the transparency tab. So that is my very rough and quick tutorial on how I draw character faces, and a little bit about coloring. There we go. And that is the end.